Thank you, Leonard, for your loving welcome always. Prabhu is a powerhouse of enthusiasm. Yesterday, the way he was enthusing all the new devotees, and memory Ravi in the presence of Bhakti Prem Maharaj, just reveals how empowered he is. And he's empowering many others also, like Satyadevata Prabhu, Subhara Prabhu, many other devotees. One who received empowerment can give empowerment to others, transparently transmitting the empowerment. So, on the occasion of Gaura Purnima, so we will discuss the most essential teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the form of Siksastakam. We will begin with some prayers. Does it stand straight? Can it stand straight? It's just falling up in a few seconds.
Oh, you can replace this mic.
Oh, then also it will go down.
This time, stand. It's more weight on it.
Hare Krishna.
You should. Then
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Anjanasya
Chaturum Ekam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Galamayam Dalati Swavaramidam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttamakamalak Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagratam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Shariram Sadvaitam Savadutam Parayana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamsa He Krishna Dharma Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopikakanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tata Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to the devotees at Gachibowli Satsang again. On the occasion of Gaura Purnima, we will be discussing the most essential teachings of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Although Mahaprabhu has not personally written so many books and only empowered his devotees like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami and many other Goswamis to write devotional literature, Mahaprabhu still has given us these 8 profound shlokas of Siksastakam. These 8 verses are the essence of all the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, in fact the essence of all scriptures. Today we will discuss one amongst them. Not possible to don't want to rush and give a quick summary of all 8 shlokas in 100 sessions. But let's meditate only on the 1 shloka. I think we'll do the 4th shloka today. And a quick review of the first 3 shlokas and elaborately describe the 4th shloka. Even before beginning this description of Siksastakam, let's try to understand what all Siksastakam is giving us. In these 8 shlokas by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we see great summary of the entire Vedic literatures. Chaitanya Charitamrita says that Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana, these 3 are the essential aspects of all Vaishnava literatures. Sambandha means our connection with Krishna. Abhideya means the process of reviving that relationship, which is the whole process of bhakti. Shravana, Kirtanam, Smaranam, all this is Abhideya. Then lastly, we have Prayojana, the ultimate goal of life, which is attaining Krishna prema. So these 3 put together are the essence of all the scriptures. So these 8 shlokas of Siksastakam present this essence. Sambandha. The first 5 shlokas of Siksastakam present us this Sambandha Jnana. What is our relationship with Krishna? If you remember the 5th shloka, what is the 5th shloka? Ainandana Vijaya the Kinkara. Being the servant of Krishna is the Sambandha, is our relationship with Krishna. Right? So the first 5 shlokas describe Sambandha Jnana. In the last 3 shlokas of Siksastakam describe Prema Bhakti, or Bhava Bhakti also, that is Prayojana. First 5 Sambandha, last 3 Prayojana. All 8 shlokas are Abhideya. All 8 shlokas are describing the Abhideya, the process of Bhakti. But from another angle, Siksastakam also describes the 2 stages of Bhakti. The first stage is sadhana, second is sadhya. Sadhana is bhakti in practice, sadhya is bhakti in perfection. The first 5 shlokas describe sadhana bhakti. The last 3 shlokas describes sadhya bhakti. Sadhya means attained. So, in other words, the last 3 shlokas describe bhava and prema stages of bhakti. And the first 5 shlokas describe sadhana. Sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, prema bhakti, right? 3 things. Sadhana, bhava, prema. The sadhana is there in the first 5 shlokas, bhava and prema are there in the last 5 shlokas. So, in this way, Siksastakam is a comprehensive summary of all the Vedic scriptures and a very concise version of the whole process of bhakti. From Shraddha to Prema is very nicely encapsulated within this 8 shlokas. Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana, all 3 are nicely encapsulated within this 8 shlokas. You can just imagine a summary of all the Vedic literatures in such a short form. Every day we begin with Siksastakam. Right? Every day after Mangalarti or sometimes before Mangalarti, and the devotees chant the prayers of Siksastakam. It's wonderful. I also thought that as a read, is there any deeper explanation of Siksastakam? We are reciting every day and we see the meaning. But are there any commentaries? A couple of years back I found this commentary by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. It's called Sanmodana Bhashya. I regret it. And why did I not read this commentary in so many years of my practice of Bhakti? Why did I read it in 2023 only? I could have read it in 2013 or even much before that. I got connected. It's very fascinating. Very wonderful details. And additionally, apart from Bhakti Vinod Thakur's commentary, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also gives his comments in the form of Vritti. And Srila Prabhupada quotes these shlokas of Siksastakam every now and then in his purports, and then he gives his perspectives. So, Now we will discuss the shlokas of Siksastakam based on the explanations of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and also Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the last chapter is Siksastakam. He goes to Siksastakam sloka and he gives a brief explanation of each sloka in some Bengali verses. I will not keep it very technical or scholarly. I will keep it more lucid and application oriented. I will give a super quick summary of the first three shlokas, then let's enter the fourth shloka. First shloka, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Can you recite it? Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhavamahadavami Nirmanam Shreya Vicharanam Vidyadu Jivanam Anandam Vivartanam Vivaram Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvamasaranam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Param Vijayate, let there be victory, let there be glory. To what? The process of Sri Krishna Sankirtan. What is Kirtan? Kirti means glory. Kirtana means to glorify. Sankirtana means to come together and glorify. Or Sankirtana also means the best form of glorification. Or the completeness in glorification. Whose glorification? Krishna Sankirtana. Sri Krishna Sankirtana. Basically, Kirtan is not just sitting with a harmonium and Bandaka and Kartal and chanting the names of the Lord only. That is definitely Kirtan or Sankirtan. But Sankirtan is a very broader term where a devotee glorifies Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, all four, not only Nama Kirtan, all four types of Kirtan. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Sri Krishna Sankirtanam basically means glorifying Krishna's Nama, name, Rupa, form, Guna, qualities, Leela, pastimes with our body, mind and words. Glorification is not done only by speech, only by words. When you are serving the Lord, doing some menial service here, that is also acknowledging the glories of Krishna. That is, you can glorify the Lord with your body also, not only with your tongue. You can glorify the Lord with your mind also by constantly thinking about His glories. So Sri Krishna Sankirtan is a very broad term that means that we need to glorify Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela with our body, mind and words. Manasa, Vacha, Karma. So in the first shloka, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu describes 7 benefits of glorifying, of doing Sri Krishna Sankirtan, of glorifying Krishna. What are they? Number 1, Cheto Darpana Marjanam means to purify the heart of the mirror of our heart. Heart is like a mirror. When the mirror is filled with dust, you cannot see your reflection, isn't it? Similarly, when the heart is filled with lust, the real glory of the soul is not visible. In the pure state of consciousness, the soul loves Krishna more than anything else and anyone else. It's a pure state of consciousness. But when the heart is covered with so many anarthas, one cannot have that love for Krishna. One will start loving so many other things in this material. So, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam will clean the mirror from the dirt. Right? In this way, 7 effects of Sri Krishna Sankirtanam are described in the first shloka. I'm just giving the theme. We will not discuss all the 7. So, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam is the process of glorifying Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela with our body, mind and words. And this whole process of Sri Krishna Sankirtanam has 7 benefits. One benefit is cleansing of the heart, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Then Bhavamahadavagni Nirdarpana means the fire of material existence will be extinguished. Many other great details are there. So that's the first shloka. Second shloka. Recite please. Nama Jalo Sarva Shakti Paramita Swarade Namaha
एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमे विषमिषामि।
So the meaning of this sloka is Namna Bagari Bhagutha. The Supreme Lord Krishna has so many names, unlimited names. Some are primary names, some are secondary names. Some are sweet names, means Madhuryana. Some are majestic names, Aishwarya. Like the Lord has so many names. The names of the Lord are very powerful. The Lord has invested all his energies into these names and thus made the name of Krishna so powerful as Krishna. So the holy name of Krishna is powerful, that's the first effect. Second, the holy name of Krishna is accessible. You can chant it any time. There are no hard and fast rules. Accessible. Third, the holy name of Krishna is merciful. Tava Kripa. The holy name is powerful, accessible, and merciful. So three qualities of Krishna's name are described. Like the first sloka describes Krishna's Sankirtan in general. The second sloka specifically focuses on the glory of name, Nama Sankirtanam in specific. The problem is that Durdaiva Midrishamihajali na Anuragana. Durdaiva. My misfortune is I don't have sufficient Anuraga or attraction towards this chanting. Or the chanting is so powerful. The holy name of Krishna is so powerful, merciful and accessible. My misfortune is I don't have taste, I don't have attraction for chanting. Why there is no attraction for chanting? What can destroy this misfortune and give us the taste in chanting so we can chant always? 4 qualities. If we cultivate 4 qualities, we can destroy the misfortune of lack of taste for chanting and we will be able to chant constantly. And those 4 qualities are described in the 3rd sloka of Sri Siksastakam. What is that? Trinavati Srijena Yadovati Sarishuna Kamadhyamana Kirtaniya Sadhari. Trinavati Srijena. Trina means blade of grass. Trinavati Srijena means you consider yourself lower than a blade of grass also. Very difficult. Very elaborate description is there. In a sense, we need to consider ourselves low and insignificant. And by the way, this humility, this feeling of humility, is not inferiority complex. It's not self-pity. It's not lack of confidence, lack of self-worth. All these are not humility. They are another form of false ego, basically. And if you think very high about yourself or low about yourself, you are conscious of yourself. That is ego. Whether you think you are great, I am fallen. I am most fallen. There is no one as fallen as me. Thinking like that, one will become more self-absorbed, self-obsessed. Whether you are absorbing your great qualities or poor qualities, if you absorb in yourself, that is ego. That is not humility. What is real humility? You are more absorbed in Krishna. And in connection with Krishna, you realize I am insignificant, He is the Supreme Lord. So whenever you bring Krishna into picture, and then you feel insignificant, that is humility. But you are feeling insignificant, and along with that, you are also feeling that Krishna is significant. Devotees are significant, Vaishnavas are great. You acknowledge others' gratitude. Don't be overwhelmed by your own disqualification. You see others' qualification, others' eligibility. That is humility. Second is Tarvarapi Sahishmana, tolerance. We need to cultivate the tolerance. What is Tarvarapi Sahishmana? Krishna. Mahaprabhu says, you be more tolerant than a tree. Not tolerant like a tree, tolerant than a tree. When you throw a stone at a tree, then the tree will not throw a branch back to you. Until the tree gives the fruit, and it's much. Many mango trees are having some green mangoes. After some time, the green will become yellow. So if you throw a stone at mango tree, it will become mango. Or if you throw a stone on flower tree, big flower tree, you will have a push-up shape on your face, on your head. So the tree does not know how to retaliate. The tree does not protest. The tree does not request. When trouble in the tree does not protest. Even if you don't feed the tree some water, tree will not request. That is tolerance. But Mahaprabhu says, be more tolerant than a tree. Be tolerant like a tree itself is too much tolerance. Be more tolerant than a tree. You know what is the logic behind making this statement? When you throw a stone at the tree has no option. Tree cannot respond back. Tree cannot throw its branch back to you. So tolerance is very natural for the tree. And the tree has no ability to retaliate on it. So there is no other option in tree but to tolerate. But a devotee has to be more tolerant than a tree means. Even if the devotee has the ability to retaliate and bounce back, still the devotee chooses to tolerate. Voluntarily chooses to tolerate. This is tolerance. Like you see, Ambarish Maharaj, he was troubled with Durvasmani so much. But Ambarish Maharaj tolerated. Not that he cannot do anything. He can counter Durvasmani. But still Ambarish Maharaj chose to tolerate out of respect. Oh, he is a Brahmana, I am a Kshatriya. He is a sannyasi, I am a Grihastha. He is the guest, I am the host. Okay. He tolerated. So tolerating something despite having the ability to retaliate is real tolerance. Tolerating something when somebody is provoking you, tempting you, alluring you, agitating you, that is real tolerance. Like you see in Krishna book, Prabhupada writes, a person's greatness has to be estimated by his ability to tolerate provoking situations. By your ability to tolerate provoking situations, our greatness is established. If you are intolerant, if you are becoming agitated, if you are replying back, if you are shouting and screaming and yelling and somebody does some inconvenience to you, then you are not great. You are able to tolerate effortlessly. And by the way, in the name of humility and tolerance, we should not and we need not allow ourselves to get exploited by this. Arjuna said, I will tolerate everything that is done by Duryodhana, Dushasana, Karna, Sakuni, Natarashtra. They are aggressors. In the first chapter, Arjuna says that it's better for me to be killed by Dhritarashtra's sons unarmed than killing them and creating so much blood there. I don't want a kingdom at the cost of killing my own family members and relatives. So Arjuna was willing to tolerate all the injustices done by Duryodhana and Pandit. What did Krishna say? Arjuna, what did I tell you? Matra sparshas tu kaunteya sitoshna sukha Akamapayano avidyaha tamsa dikshasva bharata. You tolerate happiness and distress. Don't tolerate injustice. Tolerating inconveniences, happiness, distress, that is fine. But when somebody is doing injustice, you should not tolerate it. Especially when you have an ability to counteract the injustice and rectify the person who did the injustice, you should not keep quiet at all. That tolerance is not recommended. Tolerate happiness and distress, but don't tolerate injustice, especially when you are in a position to rectify it. Somebody is doing some nonsense, you let me tolerate. That's not the message of the Bhagavad Gita. If you can rectify it, please do it. So, Taranadapi Sudicena, Tarurapi Saishtana, tolerance and humility. Then, Amanina, freedom from false prestige. Manadena, it's giving respecting. I'm supposed to give a summary when I'm going into details, but basically, if you cultivate these four qualities, you can chant the holy names of Krishna always. In the third shloka, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what qualities should we adopt to be able to chant the names of the Lord always? But in the next shloka, fourth shloka, Krishna Mahaprabhu says, what things that we need to avoid to be able to chant the holy names? Do's and don'ts, both are important. Do's are described in third shloka, don'ts are described in fourth shloka. Clear? The flow is clear so far.
Yes. Yes.
Now let's get into the fourth sloka in greater detail in the next
1 hour.
one. Prabhu's in his place, I was. I was about to say 42 minutes. He said 1 hour.
It's the best to negotiate.
So, next one, fourth sloka. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundari, kamikam bhakti kamare, mama janmani janmanishware, bhavat bhakti. In the third sloka, Krishna spoke, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, 4 things that we need to adopt. In the fifth sloka, he says 5 things that we need to avoid. In the fourth sloka, he says 5 things we need to avoid. 3, 4, 5. So first sloka describes 5 things we must avoid. Number 1, dhanam. Na dhanam. I don't want wealth. Second, na janam, I don't want followers. Third, na sundari, I don't want a beautiful spouse. Fourth, kavitamba, very interesting point. Kavita can refer to poetry or praise. But Acharya says that this kavita word also indicates some flowery language of the Vedas. Sometimes the Vedic Karmakandic sections of the Vedas, they describe in flowery language, you do this vrata, you will get this destination. You perform puja of this personality, you will go to that planet. You will get so much wealth, you will get good wife, good children, good name, prestige, if you follow this vrata, that vrata. So Kavitamba refers to this flowery language of the Vedas. The Vedas are presenting so many promises, alluring us. You do this, you will get that. You do this, you will get that. I don't want all that Kavitamba. Oh, Jagadisha Kamayi. Jagadisha means so Lord of the universe. Na Kamayi. The word na comes right multiple times. Apply it to Kamayi. Kamayi means I desire. I don't desire. Na Kamayi dhanam. I don't desire wealth. Na Kamayi janam. I don't desire followers. Then I don't desire beautiful spouse. I don't desire to follow all the flowery instructions of the Vedas that promise high grade of sense enjoyment and material enjoyment. I don't know all this point. And what is the fifth point? Mama Janmani Janmanishwar. Bhavadan Bhakti Rahaitu. Life after life, let me perform devotional service unto you. Ahituki Bhakti, unmotivated, selfless Bhakti unto you. I want to perform life after life. So in this second half of the shloka, Mahaprabhu said one more thing which is not as per by devotee. Mama Janmani Janmanishwari. What does it mean? Janma means maybe spiritualists want to get liberation by practicing spiritual life. But Mahaprabhu says, even if I have to take one more life, I can take it. Even if I have to take birth after birth, so many births, no problem. As long as I do Ahitiki Bhakti. Basically, the obstacle in Bhakti is desire for liberation. So these are 5 obstacles in Bhakti. What are the 5 obstacles? First, dhanam, wealth. Second, janam, followers. Third, sundari, spouse, attachment to opposite gender. Fourth, kavita, lovely language of Vedas. Fifth, desire for liberation. 5 things. Mahaprabhu said these are 5 obstacles. Oh Lord, please allow me to just go beyond these 5 obstacles and identify myself only as a servant of Krishna. That means servant. Now let's go to these 5 obstacles in greater detail. First, what is the first one? Dhanam. How is wealth an obstacle? Can wealthy people not become devotees? Or wealthy people not devotees? Wealth is definitely not an obstacle. There are so many devotees who are very wealthy. They are multimillionaires. They are chakravartis. They are great kings, maharajas. Prutha Maharaj has the wealth of a vast kingdom. He is the king of entire earth. Yudhishthira Maharaj is so wealthy. Prahalad Maharaj is so wealthy. Then if you see Parikshit Maharaj is wealthy. Dhruva Maharaj was so wealthy, 36,000 years he ruled the planet of his red planet, the kingdom of his father. Swami Bhuman was so wealthy. There are so many wealthy devotees. But problem is not having wealth. Problem is not possessing some money or wealth. The problem is with possessiveness. That is induced by having wealth. Possessions are not wrong. Possessiveness is wrong. So, there are so many people who became very proud of their wealth. They are very greedy for wealth. Duryodhana had enough facilities to live. He was so greedy for more and more wealth and a lot of kingdom. Once there was a Brahmana in Avantipur. This Avanti Brahmana is very obsessed with having so much wealth, and he would do agriculture and accumulate so much wealth that he wouldn't spend on it. Many people, when they have wealth, they spend lavishly, but he is a unique Brahmana. He is so miserly. He is not even spending. And his family members are frustrated. His children are frustrated. The devatas are frustrated. Common people are frustrated. Eventually, what did the Lord do? He took up all this wealth. Right? Sometimes wealth can be a great distraction in our bhakti. Or many times, not sometimes. When the Lord is confident that my devotees will not get distracted with this wealth, the Lord will give wealth. Dhruva Maharaj never wanted wealth. Initially he wanted, but after performing 6 months tapasya and chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Nimritam Dham, Dhruva Maharaj never wanted wealth. But still the Lord gave him wealth. Now that he got taste for bhakti, he has no taste for wealth. So even if he has that wealth with him, he will not be distracted. Right? Somebody who has sense control or self-control can deal with wealth. There's nothing wrong in having a gadget in your pocket. There's nothing wrong in having $10 million in your bank account. There's nothing wrong in having a very lavish home with so many facilities. There's nothing wrong in having so many servants and other kinds of privileges, as long as we have self-control. Somehow, any material possession will make us compromise on our self-control. If there's too much wealth, even if there's no need, we feel like spending it. And we go to shopping. We have some money with you. The shopping mall is organized in such a way that all attractive or unattractive things are flashed on you, and you feel like spending something. Okay? So, whether it is necessary for me or not, we lose the discrimination. When there is wealth to spend, when there is some freedom to spend, we lose discrimination many times. Is it needed for me? We already have one phone. There is a small upgrade that we have some money also. Someone who does not have money, even if the best upgrade comes, he cannot afford to upgrade it. So he just stick to the 4 max 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Well, there is something with us. You can, I can afford it, okay, let me take it. But it's necessary, that's fine. But even though it is not necessary, we feel like spending this wealth. That's a wealth satisfaction. Narada Muni saw Nalakuvara Manigriva bathing naked in Mandakini Karta along with some babes. And these people did not have even basic etiquette to offer respects to great saints. Not even forget offering respect, not even covering their bodies. They are still with their body. Sitting in the, standing in the Mandakini Karta. Narada Muni said, so disgusting. Because they are sons of wealthiest Devata Kuvera, they have lost all common sense and they are behaving like this in a holy place. Sometimes when there is so much pride because of some material possession, whether it's wealth or position or status or whatever, we don't hesitate to do a very unmentionable activity in a sacred place also. Even while living in a sacred place like a temple, the mind is polluted, we start having all kinds of unnecessary thoughts, and the thoughts can become actions also. Even when we being in temple, within temple, just how can I behave like this? How can I speak like this? How can I think like this? How can I act like this? So we lose discrimination. Right? So this Nalakuvara and Manigriva, they are very wealthy, Because of their wealth, they became very proud like this. They lost all culture. Somebody who has wealth, he can get all the privileges that one can get by education. There are four things, right? Janma Ishwarya Sadashri Hirnyathamanamadha Kuman Naivakantyam Hitatum Vaitvam Kinchana Gocharam. Janma, high birth. Shunta, great education. Shri, beauty. Then Shri, Janma Ishwarya, opulence, wealth. So, like what education cannot do, wealth may be able to do. Definitely education is better than wealth. But someone who has wealth can appoint 10 educated people and give them salary and get the work done. The person who has money may be illiterate. But because he has money, so many literate people, so many scholars and big educationalists also will come and surrender, they will pay back and get things done. Right? So therefore wealth is more intoxicating than education. And many times educated people are poor. They are not that influential. Those who have so much of knowledge, they may not have so much power many times in this world. Brahmanas are always poor in the Vedic society. Kshatriyas are powerful, but Brahmanas are pure. Brahmanas are poor. They have purity, but they also have poverty along with purity. Because of the purity of knowledge, they are not very eager to acquire anything material. They are humble also. Those are wealthy, they can purchase education afterwards, especially in Kali. Somebody may not be so beautiful. If they have wealth, still people get attracted. When the man is not handsome, the woman will not get attracted. When the woman is not handsome, man will not get attracted. But if this unattractive man or woman are very wealthy, then the opposite gender will get attracted to them. So although they don't have beautiful form, they have great wealth. So that is attractive element. So Janma Ishwarya Shraddha Shri. Even if somebody does not have so much reputation, still they are wealthy. So let me just be it. They get wealth. So wealth can be the greatest distraction in bhakti if one does not know the art of using that wealth in Krishna's service. Being wealthy is not wrong. But if you don't know how to use that wealth in Krishna's seva, that wealth can be great distraction. Sometimes people who have so much wealth, they cannot train their children properly. Children, because of so much of confidence that they get because of their parents' wealth, they will not study properly many times. They will not respect people properly. They will not respect teachers properly. They won't do hard work. That's why in the previous days, the kings would make it a point to send their children to the forests or to some gurukul or to some humble place where they live with very, very basic facilities. Be accustomed to living in a poverty-stricken life. For example, the king, Prajina Gadhi, he sent his sons, the 10 Prajetas, to the forest, go and do some austerities. Even Daksha, he had sent his 10,000 sons Harias first, and later 1,000 sons Chavalas first, to the forest to live with basic facilities. You live with basic facilities and experience poverty, although they are kings, they are living in the forest. Then only the wealthy person will be able to empathize with a poverty-stricken person. Therefore, even if you have access to unlimited wealth, adopt poverty. Embrace poverty. Live a simple life. That inclination to live a simple life and embracing poverty will help us empathize with most people. Because most people in this world are not very wealthy. Some people are wealthy, the top 10% or 5% will be very wealthy. Most people are simple middle class people, or poor people. So we'll be able to have that compassion when we practice living in poverty-stricken life. May not be poverty-stricken, but basic facilities with simplicity. Right? So there are many other perspectives we can say, but Mahaprabhu is profoundly saying, no, I don't want that. Only on this wealth part we can discuss 3-4 hours where how wealth can be a great distraction in spiritual life. Naheyam yojishato joshya buddhi brahmso rajogunah Sripadada vijatya yatra stritvutamata asamaha. When somebody has wealth, they will be addicted to Stree Judam. They will be addicted to opposite gender. They will be addicted to gambling. They will be addicted to intoxication. Wealth, women, wine. All three they can acquire with women, wealth, women, wine, and this intoxication, gambling, and other illicit things. So all one can become addicted to all this and have wealth. If they are not careful, if they are not trained properly to utilize that noble causes. On the other hand, there are so many wealthy people who are using all their wealth in Krishna's service, all for some noble cause. That's great. That's a great utility of wealth. But if one does not have the discrimination to use wealth, that can be great distraction in bhakti, one will be deprived of attaining one's prayojan. Therefore, Mahaprabhu is emphatically saying, na dhanam, I don't want dhanam. Second, na janam. Janam is followers. Sometimes, or many times, followers can be more intoxicating than wealth. Who are followers actually? Who click subscribe button on your Instagram channel, and they call it like a million followers. Or one who follow you on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, any other social media channels. Followers are of multiple types. One type of followers they follow us seeing one's charisma, one's beauty, one's wealth, one's name, fame, prestige, position, or anything material. Such followers are a distraction. But who are real followers? And what kind of followers we are supposed to seek as propagators of Krishna consciousness? We are here to make followers for Krishna. If they subscribe to the process of bhakti, not to subscribe to your channel, but subscribing to the process of bhakti, that should give us more happiness. Right? So we need to make more and more followers to be part of Krishna consciousness. That kind of followers are great. We need thousands and millions of them. But those who follow an individual or an organization just to see the external glare of it, external comfort or charisma of it, do not stick to what they subscribe to for a longer time. Real followers are those who follow the process of bhakti. How much are these followers, quote unquote followers, are absorbed in practicing Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam? That is the success of creating followers. Right? Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going to Vrindavan with so many followers. Then Sanatana Goswami said, this is not the right way to go to Vrindavan. He is doing Harinam Sankirtan. Still so many followers are following him. But Sanatana Goswami said, no, don't go to Vrindavan this way. Then Mahaprabhu went back. All the way he went back to Jagannath. Then again he organized another Vrindavan Yatra. This time he did not go in the public path. He went through Jharkhand forest, in a very secluded forest path where only tigers and deer can see him, not human beings. Very few people knew what Mahaprabhu is trying to do. Otherwise, so many followers were there. Sometimes followers can be a great distraction, even if they are genuine followers. When we are too attached to the followers, when we are too addicted to receiving claps and visits from them, what could happen is our practice of bhakti can become very superficial or shallow, where we expect only claps and visits and we don't focus on glorifying Krishna. Right? We expect only numbers, we don't focus on the quality. We see more the quantity and not quality. So sometimes followers can be very intoxicating. When some people follow, now to please them, we present what they expect us to present, rather than presenting the truth. Right? Of course, we need to customize the presentation in such a way that everybody will understand, but the intention is to give them Krishna. But if the intention of giving Krishna to people becomes an intention to impress them and get their attention for oneself, there's a big distraction. Very thin line between these two. Sometimes in the name of spreading bhakti also sometimes one could be very distracted to try to please the quote-unquote followers. And Mahaprabhu says, no, and say, no, I don't want followers. Real followers are those who follow us with the intention of coming closer to Krishna. We are all here to bring followers for Krishna, not for God's own sake. However, while a pujari is doing arati on the altar, along with a lot of pujaris is also visible, isn't it? He has to stand on the altar and they do it. So after the deities, the pujari is visible. In that sense, okay, someone who is representing Krishna may get some kind of attention, but that attention should be used only for Krishna's service and should not become a distraction in one's own bhakti. Or once Prabhupada, I don't remember exactly, but once Prabhupada, I think one devotee was doing arati like this. While doing arati to the deities, he's focusing on his hand and biceps or whatever. I was calling it this. So the attention went there. So from the lamp in the hand, it went on the other things. It went a bit embarrassed. So we are here not to become self-absorbed, we are here to become absorbed in Krishna. So while we are spreading Krishna consciousness, for example, a pujari is taking scented oil and applying it on the deity. Like fragrant oil and applying on the deity during the Abhishek, Gaur Purnima ceremony, for example. That's a service to the Lord. If the pujari becomes enthusiastic, okay, I will also get some scent on my hand. Trying to utilize that for one's own self-gratification while doing service to the Lord. So these are all very, very subtle things. Just introspect nicely. Am I here to increase my fans or Krishna's fans? Am I here to serve myself or decorate my own false ego or decorate Krishna? Sometimes Pujari may decorate the duties with so much of flowers, ornaments, etc. And they expect people to recognize, you are the Pujari, you dressed the duty nicely, Krishna is looking so beautiful, you made Krishna so beautiful. Maharaj says, Radha Maharaj says, and Pujari is so conscious of overloading the deity with so many ornaments and decorations and flowers, that like decorating the false ego, not decorating the deity. Especially three things will attract attention of people, common people. One, reading kirtans, right? Melodies. Second, worshipping the deities. Third, giving lectures. So all three are attention attracting services. We were told when somebody requests you to do these three things, you can do. You can volunteer to do Jhadu Pocha. I will do Jhadu. I will do Pocha. I will do Prasadam serving. I will do cooking. I will do something cutting. All that we can say. But these three, when they are offered, you can accept. Because these three things will create you as followers. Okay? These three things will earn a lot of followers, and the followers can be a distraction. Yes, this has to be a display, of course, we have to do. Now that we run away from these three things, but be careful. Right? You don't have to hate rose. Be careful about the thorn. When you're holding a rose, the thorn will pierce your hand. You just be careful about the thorn and then offer roses to the Lord and make garlands and use roses nicely. Like that. So, now, this attraction towards opposite gender is even more intoxicating. So intoxicating that even while chanting the holy names of the Lord, even while sitting in a temple in a holy dham, in the presence of so many Vaishnavas, or even in the presence of spiritual master, one who is not getting to can think about the opposite gender. When we do various devotional services to attract the attention of opposite gender, many times. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was on his Kautinya Yatra, next to him was his assistant, Kala Krishna Das traveling along with him. Kala Krishna Das. He was attracted by these Bhattataris. These Bhattataris are some kind of gypsy people. They have sent some woman to elude his mind, and he just gave him, and then he went to their camp directly, leaving Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to personally go and hold his shikha and pull him back. Okay, come, be with me. You are not meant to be there. So, Baba writes, if one is not determined in devotional service, even the Supreme Personality of Godhead also cannot save. He can save him. But the problem is, the Lord will not give us His service or His love or any spiritual privilege when we don't want it. He will inspire us to take it, but He will not force, He will not impose. You can inspire people, you should not impose, you should not force. He does not come force it down. When somebody is forced to serve me, we are not comfortable to receive that force of service. Similarly, Krishna also cannot force anyone to serve him. So, he respects our independence, respects our free will, acknowledges our freedom. He doesn't want to push us as forces to accept anything that we don't want to accept. So, when somebody is attracted to the opposite gender, not attracted to Krishna, Krishna does not want to push him. Okay, you come in my side. He does not want to push him. Okay, you want to explore, you explore. It's very dangerous thing. The Lord does not want to force us. So, sometimes attraction towards sensual enjoyment towards the opposite gender can overwhelm even a sincere practitioner and degrade even a sincere practitioner to such lower consciousness that people will lose taste in it. That's why Prabhupada says, if one is not determined, even Krishna cannot save. Because the Lord is determined to give your free will to you. May this devotee retain his freedom or her freedom to come to me. I don't want to force this person. Otherwise, we can hypnotize all of us to make us pure devotees and premi bhaktas within a moment. He's a great magician. Right? No magician or no hypnotist in this material world can even compare to Krishna. Krishna is the greatest magician. He can do some magic, he can do some spell. Okay, you come to me. Next moment he's premi bhakta. Or he's having some madhurya rasa or vatsalya rasa. At once he can do it. He can create the transformation, but he doesn't want to do that. Initially I was thinking, why Krishna can't force all of us or just make all of us pure devotees? Why he has to give us independence? Why he has to give us free will? Why he has to put this prakriti around us and we get tempted and allured by it? So much struggle to voluntarily develop an attraction towards Krishna when Maya is tempting us in 100 different ways. Why should Krishna keep us in this position? Krishna, you just manipulate my mind and then make me get attracted to you. But Krishna says, yeah, if you are desirous of doing it, I will help you do it. But I don't want to force you. You have to voluntarily give up Maya and voluntarily surrender to me. I will not force you. I can inspire you. I can facilitate. I can send devotees. I can send scriptures. I can do anything to assist you. But it's your responsibility to develop attraction for me. It has to be your voluntary commitment. If you don't have a voluntary commitment to the process of bhakti, then Krishna will not force us. That's very difficult. So, attraction towards opposite gender. How much it can distract a person, we can see in the case of Saubhari. Saubhari Muni was underwater and he saw two fish mating. People can't even make out that the fish are mating. Everybody has aquarium. What the fishes are doing in aquarium, nobody can figure out. Can just see taking photos and enjoying, happy, but people can't understand. But Saubhari Muni saw it. And he desired a wife. He came out of this lake, this Yamuna river, and went to the closest king, Mantata, and said, I want to marry your daughter. And Mantata said, it's such a gold sage, will my daughter like it? I am not inclined to give my daughter in marriage to you, to him. But if I say it, he is a Brahmana, he is a sage, he may have mystic powers, he will curse me, so let me not say no. But I cannot say yes also. He doesn't seem very suitable husband to my daughters. Then he gave a clever answer. I have taken a vow to get my daughters married to whomever they like. So my assistant a soldier is there, he will take you to the palace where all the 50 daughters are staying. If any one of them likes you can destroy. He gave a clever answer. And Subramani understood the mind of Madhava. So this soldier was taking Subramani to the chamber of all the queens, all the princesses. On the way, Subramani transformed himself into a very handsome, young looking man, very strong. All these 50 daughters start Subramani and said, I want to marry him, I want to marry him, I want to marry him. They were fight between all 50 of them. Then Madhava was obliged to get all 50 of them married to Subramani. Here was he in Vrindavan Dham in the middle of Yamuna Nadi, doing some meditation on the Lord, and suddenly he became the husband of 50 women. And within no time he became the father of 5,000 children. Each of these 50 princesses, 50 queens now, they gave birth to 100 sons. Then he started contemplating after a long time. I was one, I became 51. Now 5,001. My family will extend. Then he contemplated marrying the shelter of the Lord. All this happened because of Vaishnava Aparat. He did Aparat to Garuda. But the point here is, sometimes desire or attraction towards opposite gender can kill our common sense. And when we are obsessed in that direction, even Krishna cannot save. He can save us, but he does not save us because he does not interfere with our independence. That's very scary. What should scare us in bhakti is we have freedom, we have free will. That should scare us in bhakti. Many people desire, I want freedom, I want independence, I want to do whatever I want to do. I can serve Krishna with this everybody want to think like that. No, we cannot serve Krishna musically. We need to have some guide, we need to have some guru, we need to have some spiritual authority. Under their guidance only, under the instruction of scriptures only we can say. Let me give one little example. You know, kite? So one little boy, for example, anyway, or an adult. So they are flying kite. They are releasing the rope like this. And the kite is flying so high, very nice, very beautifully decorating the sky, very colorful tails are there, three sides. Like the kite is looking so nice in the sky. And suddenly this person who is flying the kite started winding up the rope. And the kite came little down. He started winding up more. The kite came burst down. The kite is thinking, I want to fly high. Why this fellow is pulling me down? Why can't he allow me? I need freedom, I need independence, I need to move in all directions. And this person is pulling the string. If only someone can cut this string, I can fly the way I want. If the kite feels like that, what will happen to the kite? Fall down. In the first place, why this person is winding up the rope? This man who is flying the kite understands. If the kite goes higher, then it will collide with other kites. Or it may just bump into a big tall tree. Or it may get destroyed by the movement of the wind. So the person who is flying the kite will see all these three things. Tall trees, other kites, and the movement of the wind. So these three things can destroy the kite. Therefore he keeps releasing the string sometimes, winding up the string sometimes, and totally withdrawing the kite or allowing it to go to higher heights. Or this person may have only that much rope. So multiple things are involved in this. So the kite feels I need freedom. It will not get freedom, it will get destruction. So similarly, we cannot live our life independently. We can't even serve Krishna independently. We need to have some guide. We need to abide the scriptural instructions. Scriptures are saying something, and in the name of serving Krishna, you are doing something else. Guru is saying something, you do something else. Our spiritual authority is saying something, and we do something else. So that even if you don't like, if there is an obedience and submissiveness to the instructions of spiritual authority, that will save us, that will protect us. wind or from other kites or the long tall trees, right? So what's the point of kite flying so high and high for 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 10 minutes and finally ending up on a tall tree stuck there, no one can bring it up. No. Or flying so high, thinking the kite is flying, but actually the wind is making it fly. But as soon as wind subsides, the kite will collapse. Right? Sometimes we think we are doing, things are happening. It's the wind that is taking us ahead. Because of the movement of the wind we are flying and we think we are flying. But when the wind stops, when the wave stops, we collapse. Right? Therefore, it's always advisable to stick to the string. The string is grounded. The string is wholly held by someone who is grounded. Right? So, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitamba. Last 2 points, I'll summarize it. Kavitamba refers to flowery language of the Vedas. Sometimes the flowery language of the Vedas may not be accessible to us because many of us don't read Vedas. Anyone here reading Vedas? Nobody, right? So the flowery language of Vedas may not be accessible to us, but the flowery language of this materialistic society, flowery language of Amazon, Flipkart, or some Instagram or Facebook, that might practice. This is way to preach. If you have authorization, you do it. But sometimes, in the name of innovation, we end up in deviation. Sometimes, in the name of exploring newer and newer ways to spread bhakti, we may exploit some natural resources and we may eventually get exploited. So, these developments can come not only in the form of Vedic statements, it can come in the form of many other distractions, or the people will distract us. People will tempt us, people will give this proposal, that proposal, you like this, but like that, you got so much. Okay? Sometimes we get attracted to these external proposals. There are some fake sites. They say, so and so big product is given only for 3,000 or 4,000 rupees. You need to pay with the card and then put a payment and 3,000 is lost. I recently know 1 or 2 devotees lost some money like that, but it's a fake site. Some sites say you click this button, you answer these 2-3 questions, you will get an iPhone free. You will get this free, that free. It's a fake site. It is you give our address, first transfer 10,000, we will give 1 lakh phone. 10,000 gone. 1 lakh never came back. There are some flowery environments that Maya presents, especially in Teluyuga 2025. This internet age, social media age.
It has worked.
This will happen.
No, it has worked more.
But it happens more here. Prabhu is there. So Prabhu is the one who is flying kite. All of the kites. So let him pull the string so that we those who are experienced in bhakti can guide others in the right direction. But sometimes we think we know more than experienced devotees, so we need to be obedient and submissive. It helps us. Sanadhanam Rajaram Nasundarim Kavitamba Jagadish Kamali Mama Janmani Janmanishware. Liberation is never an aspiration for a devotee. Now, let me quote some shlokas from Bhagavatam that summarize all these points. Bhattacharya says, he says, Nanaka Prishtham Nachaparamishtham Nasarvabhaumam Narasadhipatyam Nayoga Siddhyarva Punarbhavam Va Samanjasatva Virahaya Kanshi Nanaka Prishtham. I don't know the position of Brahma. Nachaparamishtham is I don't know the position of Brahma. Nanaka Prishtham, I don't want heavenly planets. Nanaka Prishtham Nachaparamishtham Nasarvabhaumam, I don't want sovereignty over all this earthly planet. So the Lord is giving this prayer. Nanaka Prishtham, I don't want heavenly pleasures. Oh, you want Brahma's position? Nacha Paramishtham, I don't want Brahma's position also. Oh, we are happy with earth? You want to become ruler of earth? Na Sarvabhaumam, I don't want the rulership of earth also. You want lower planets? No, I don't want lower planets also. You want yoga siddhis? I don't want yoga siddhis also. No, yoga siddhir apuna bhavamba. Do you want liberation? I don't want liberation also. Basically, devotee wants exclusive shelter of Krishna. It just want to render service to Krishna. That's what he says. Bhavata bhaktir ahituki tvai. Ahit is not ahituki bhakti. Unmotivated, uninterrupted, selfless devotional service unto you is the only progress I have. And that bhakti is better performed in the association of devotees with the guidance of devotees. Not whimsically according to our own mindset. So, ahituki bhakti means bhakti which is done without any selfish motivations. Whatever we are doing, whatever we are thinking, whatever we are speaking, let it be for Krishna's pleasure. It's easier said than done, but we have to come to this standard. That's the goal of life. That's our natural characteristic position, constitutional position. We naturally want to serve Krishna selflessly, but whenever we are expecting some returns from our service to Krishna, then that is a distraction. That is being unnatural. It's so unnatural for a soul to serve with selfishness, but it's extremely natural for a soul to serve selflessly. Taking breaks is not natural for the soul. Having material motivation is not natural for the soul. What is natural for a pure spirit soul is selfless bhakti and seamless bhakti. Unmotivated bhakti and uninterrupted bhakti. Consistent bhakti. So that is what is natural for the soul. So the whole process of bhakti is meant to bring us to a stage where we will become more natural and come out of this unnatural way of doing things. We will be more natural. It's our nature. The spirit soul's nature is to selflessly serve Krishna, not selfishly. So these are some thoughts on the fourth sloka. I think I conclude here. We have 10 minutes for any questions. Thank you very much. Sri Siksastakam ki jai.
You can ask a question. Yeah.
So again, I had a question on the third verse. So when you explain that tolerance doesn't mean to tolerate injustice. So we have three kleshas. Adhyatmic, Adidevik, I understand we have to always tolerate. When the Adidevik klesha comes from especially living entity and those are fellow humans, then it becomes difficult to differentiate at that time whether it is injustice or it is a distress which we need to tolerate. So how to differentiate when we are dealing with fellow humans, whether it is injustice or distress?
It's not black and white. Differentiation becomes very difficult. But you can differentiate it with some guidance. Ask somebody. So and so living entity, another human being, fellow devotee. Another devotee next to me is troubling me in this way. Should I tolerate or terminate? So I have to give this power. You tolerate it if it is little inconvenience. But if it is crossing certain limits, we communicate. Tell them, please don't do this. Communication also doesn't work, escalate to someone who can make a difference, to some superior, they will address. So, you need to introspect, you need to evaluate whether it is really a trouble which is beyond my ability to tolerate, or is it okay? Is it okay to manage it? As much as possible on a personal plane, we need to tolerate. But if it is affecting the peace of mind of 10 other people also, and if it's like creating great imbalance in your mind, then you have to express it and get some solution. Probably they are behaving the way they are behaving because of the mistake that we have done. We need to, if there is a mistake on our part, we should be honest and take equity and apologize.
Devotee is still clear that we was right to tolerate. My question was more aligned on when while going to office, So when we are dealing with like people who are more in like exploitative mode also, so how do we deal with those?
You don't get subjected to exploitation. Humility does not mean you allow yourself to get exploited by others. You don't need to protect yourself, depending on the situation, time, place, circumstances. So, if somebody in your office is bothering you, it's very unreasonable. It's not a small inconvenience, it is something major. They are being political, manipulating, backbiting, whatever. To address the situation. To tolerate that is not humility.
Maharaj, దేవుడు ఏం చేస్తే ఎక్కువ చాంటింగ్ చేయగలుగుతాను చాంటింగ్ చేయమన్నాను ఇలా హౌ టు ఇంప్రూవ్ ఏం ఎక్కువ తగ్గించి చేస్తే చాంటింగ్ చేయగలుగుతాను కొంచెం చెప్పాలి లేదా హౌ టు ఇంప్రూవ్ మీరు చెప్పారు ఇలా ప్రభు చెప్పారు చేయలేకపోతున్నాను ఎలా చేస్తే బాగుంటుంది చేయాలి చేయాలి చెప్పరా క్లియర్గా హౌ టు డూ మోర్ చాంటింగ్ క్లియర్గా చెప్పరా
రేపు ఎలాబరేట్ గా చెప్తాను.
చెప్పండి.
ఇప్పుడు అడిగారు కాబట్టి చిన్నగా చెప్తాను.
చెప్పండి.
చాటింగ్ చేసేటప్పుడు
చెప్పండి.
మిమ్మల్ని మీరు మర్చిపోవాలి, దేవుడిని మాత్రమే గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. Everybody understand Telugu?
చెప్పండి తెలుగులో చెప్పండి చెప్పండి.
English? Right. So when we are chanting Krishna's names, try to be conscious of Krishna and keep aside your identity kit.
Okay.
I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm an engineer, I'm a doctor, I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a Hyderabadi wala, I'm Andhra wala, I'm Telangana wala. Keep aside all these designations and identities. Just understand, I'm a servant of Krishna. I'm a servant of Krishna. Remind yourself. You can't remind, put it on a piece of paper, write it and put it in front of you. I'm a servant of Krishna. Krishna is my master. So the more you are conscious of Krishna and the more you are conscious of your relationship with Krishna, your connection with Krishna, you can chant better, you can go deep into this holy name. The more we think of, like for example, we think of ourselves as an employee in a company, and you wear that hat. You envision yourself as an employee of a company with that identity of standing there. Then you will always think of pending files, unfinished projects, or you start identifying yourself as a member in a certain family. Then all the family issues and financial issues will all involve you. So that 1.5 hours, that 2 hours is a time where you have to exclusively think that I am a servant of Krishna and no one else. Right? Keep aside all the identities or the conceptions that you imagine for yourself, or keep aside all the perceptions that people have about yourself. People may, this world will think of you as something else. To maintain that identity that is imposed upon you by the world, you start thinking about it constantly even during chanting also. What is your identity? You are servant of Krishna. Keep aside that. The world is perceiving me as a brahmachari, as a preacher, as a teacher, as this or that. Let me keep aside that identity. I'm a servant of Krishna. In that point, with that Hare Krishna. Very difficult to do it. But let's try. Arjuna said it's very difficult to control my mind. But Krishna said, Abhyasena tu kauntaya vairagena. You perform abhyasa. Keep practicing. One day you will be able to do it. So while chanting, I am a servant of Krishna and nothing else. I don't belong to any varna, I don't belong to any ashram, I don't belong to any geographical location, I don't belong to any of the material temporary identities that the world has imposed upon me or I have imposed upon myself. I am a servant of Krishna. Remind yourself of this. Or you can write it and keep it in front of you. That's the best good use we can.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for such an inspiring class. So my question is, I'm always conflicted in understanding two statements, Prabhuji. So the first one is to have that strong desire to go back to Godhead in this very life, versus desiring for pure bhakti even after life after life. So what is the right understanding and the right aspiration?
Yesterday, Bhakti Prabhu mentioned something about this. You try to finish off your job in this material world, in this life itself, as much as possible. Try to become as serious as possible, humanly possible for you in bhakti, and then try to go back to God in one lifetime only. But if Krishna wants us to come back again for some seva, we should be willing to come back. Right? Ideally, the meditation and the practice should be in such a way that we neither of our anarthas and then try to go back to God like this one lifetime only, as Prabhupada said. But if Krishna expects us to come back for some seva, we should be willing to. In that sense, Mama Janma Janmani Ishwara will work. But from my side, let me try to finish off all the attachments that I have. Give up all the distractions and focus only on Krishna.
Hello, Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have one question of both sloka. If there is no cause, how one can work and concentrate? If there is no cause, how one can work and concentrate, Prabhuji? Like you have said, all 5 things, the desire for liberation, and Kavitamvara, and Janma Janmantara. And I was unable to come to temple and unable to leave my bed until I don't have a cause to come to a temple in the morning at 4 a.m. So, how one can concentrate and work if there is no cause?
Purpose, motivation,
No motivation.
inspiration. We should have an inspiration. We should have a cause. We should have a purpose. And that purpose must be spiritual. When we say na dhanam, na janam, na sundari, are these the causes that you are talking about to come to Krishna? Now, many people in this world, somehow we are wired, especially I can say about Andhra because I was born and brought up here. So we are wired to think that going to temple is only to fulfill a specific desire. ఏమందంటే పెట్టుకున్నది ఏం లేదు దాన్ని పెట్టుకున్నది పిల్లలు అంటే పెద్దలు ఏమంటారు తెలుసా లేదు ఎవరు కొట్టేవాళ్ళు పెద్దలు నుంచి సాయంత్రం కొనుక్కోవాలి. They don't say, you learn this mantra, you don't know Telugu, that's okay. The parents don't say, you learn this mantra, chant this shloka in front of the Lord, or meditate on the meaning of this shloka, and ask him to give you an opportunity to serve, ask him to give you an inspiration to love you, serve you. They don't say all this. At least we were never told also. In our circles, no one has told their children to do like this. They say, go to the deities, go into the temple and say, if you get first rank in your exam, you'll break one coconut. We'll do 11 predactions. Or we'll do some sashtang dandavat around the temple. So, always motivated practice of spiritual life is induced in us. So we need, as you said, cause. We need a cause. I need a motivation. I need a purpose. I need to attain this. Without getting this material benefit, I have nothing to do with God. God is there only for 2 things: to solve my problems and to fulfill my desires. Otherwise, God has no need in my life. That's the wiring in our systems. What to do? Unfortunately, but when we are aspiring for dhanam, is that dhanam permanent? Wealth is not permanent. Name, fame, prestige are not permanent. Followers are not permanent. Or attraction to opposite gender, the enjoyment we get from opposite gender is not permanent. Nothing is permanent in this world. Then what is permanent? Our relationship with Krishna. So our focus, the purpose of the cause that we are talking about is reviving that relationship with Krishna. Let me reunite with Krishna and go back to Him and have very nice spiritual life, devoid of birth, death, old age, disease, and an eternal life in His loving family. That should be the cause.
To give one more question. Like, when comes, cat flies up. as wind goes down, kite comes down. Still the flyer managed to keep constant at that height. Okay, not heat is going upward, not going down. It is constant at that point. So how can we constant at that point if some bad time comes?
Oh. Even when there are some reversals and difficulties and results in life, how can we keep our consciousness high? Chanting will keep the consciousness high. When you are chanting the name of Krishna constantly, regularly, may not be constantly, you are in touch with that high spiritual energy. Then your consciousness will go above the level of material happiness and distress. So when I was coming to Hyderabad, on the way there is too much traffic on the way to Mumbai airport. I was stuck. Then I got down from the cab, took an auto, went to the nearest railway station, and I took a train to reach the airport on time, just on time. Then when the flight took off, from the windows I was seeing all these roads and skyscraper buildings and buses and trains and all the vehicles on the road are looking very, very small from that altitude. Now the red signal on the road will not affect me, will not stop my flight. And the green signal on the road is of more relevance to me because I am flying in the airplane. The red signals of distress or green signals of happiness on the material plane will not affect somebody who raised his or her consciousness to a spiritual plane by chanting Krishna's names. Regularly hearing Bhagavatam and chanting Krishna's names is a way to be in touch with that spiritual power so that you don't get affected too much, you don't get overwhelmed by the material happiness and distress. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. I was stopping you from asking that question, but would you ask that question? Because we all received a profound answer. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Ram Ram. Ram Ram. Hare Hare. So, a few announcements. So the session is going to continue tomorrow as well. So don't miss tomorrow's session. We'll have Siksastakam again, and then we'll go towards Gaur Purnima. So, Prabhuji's, it's a very good time to bring connection to the parampara in our life. So, parampara is right there in front of us, starting from Srila Prabhupada all the way to love. So, if somebody doesn't have this parampara in your house, in your altars, I think it's a good opportunity to start beginning from Gaur Purnima. And if there is somebody you are inspiring, most of them don't have idea towards parampara actually. Unfortunately in India, unless you explain what it means, and go to temple, we come back, but we forget that there is a connection with Krishna that comes to parampara. So you can encourage them to buy and bring them the whole parampara set. You know what is the parampara set, right? From Prabhupada all the way to 6 Goswamis and then Panchatattva and all the way to Radha Krishna pictures. So you can encourage them to buy and bring them on Gaur Purnima day. At the end of the lecture, they can receive it from the hands of Prabhuji. So that can be a nice, nice way to connect to Krishna on a very pure day like Gaur Purnima. And so there are many programs I was going to tell. So Prabhuji is going to give a program today evening in Udayan Prabhu's Pebble City. If somebody wants to go there, you can go there. You can contact Udayan Prabhu or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And tomorrow morning again here, and then tomorrow evening this is the plan, but Prabhuji has another class. So day after morning, Prabhuji is in Abbot's, ISKCON Abbot's temple. You can always go there and hear the lecture and Gaur Purnima celebrations. And day after tomorrow evening, we have Gaur Purnima celebrations in center in presence of Prabhuji. There was a lot of negotiation that went through to get that time of Prabhuji. So don't miss it and do it with enthusiasm. There are a lot of services that are there. I'm just telling in advance.